Welcome back to Goodbye America, Hello Europe, the show that helps Americans move, live, and thrive in Europe without losing their minds.
Or their money. Today, we're talking about something that hits everyone when they land in Europe: cell phone coverage.
Or more specifically, how not to get destroyed by those international roaming charges.
Yeah, because that global plan from your US carrier, spoiler alert, it's a global scam.
Total scam. So, one of my favorite things and curiosities when arriving to Europe is how to get cell phone coverage. Something we're not used to coming from the US.
Mm-hmm.
So, first of all, this was like 10 years ago, the first time I experienced it. I did not have what's called international coverage with my provider. I think at the time I had Verizon or T-Mobile. I don't remember.
I've got AT&T.
But AT&T, right on. So we didn't have the international coverage. You would just get charged a crazy amount of roaming if you tried to actually set it on roaming in another country and make a phone call or send a text or even surf the internet if you could.
Yeah, I've got a buddy of mine who spent the summer in Ibiza, and his family had to take out a bank loan to pay for his cell phone charges. He called everybody
real?
every day. I don't know why he was acting so lonely while he was over there, but the bill was massive. It's gotten a little bit better, but it's still pretty harsh for what the cell phone companies in America offer. So the prepaid SIMs or eSIMs here in Europe are always going to be cheaper.
Right. This is something that no one will tell you. In America, your cell phone company is definitely not going to let you know this. And you kind of figure out about this after you've arrived and been like, oh, I wish I had known that before. You can go into a local shop, buy a SIM card, put it in your phone, and then you've got everything: internet, text, WhatsApp, Facebook. You got to make your phone call up to a month, essentially, for very, very little compared to what you've been paying in the US. So let's talk about where to get it, Will.
So the best options, it is going to be cheaper if you get it outside of the airport. However, for convenience, if you have been traveling for 24 hours and you don't want to get hit with that 1 day best mobile international plan, which usually for American carriers, for myself, for AT&T, it's about like $10 or $12 a day, which if for most people, right, if you're going on vacation for a week or two, you bite the bullet. It's an extra like $500 or something like that, tacked on to
Wow.
already expensive European trip. But if you are coming to relocate to Europe, this is something that you absolutely want to be aware of, especially within the first couple months while you're here. I find the airport kiosk to be very convenient for just arriving for the first 30 days. And then after that, you can go to these stores' locations. The main stores are going to be Leica Mobile, Vodafone. That's the one that I use. They're bright orange and easy to spot. There's another one called Orange. And then there's a fourth one called Three, which I haven't seen too many of those, but they are around.
I haven't seen that too much either. Another one I've seen in Spain is Movie Star. The one that I've always found to be the most convenient and easily accessible is from Vodafone. So you can go into not just a Vodafone store or a cell phone store, but you can go into like an electronics sort of shop, where you buy like Bluetooth receivers or like a call it a Chinese shop, owned by the Chinese, and you can get the Vodafone SIM card.
What was that, John? I think there's a little wind.
Oh yeah, sorry. The Vodafone SIM card I've found for as little as $10, on average about 15 or 20, and maybe I've seen as much as like 30 in the airport. Yeah.
Right
I'm
on,
in kind
man.
of a windy place. Yeah, I
Yeah,
decided
that's a
to sit
real
outside
hurricane
today.
of a deal, John. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a typhoon of savings. Amazing.
Okay, so you get to Europe. Maybe you've paid the day of roaming from your US phone carrier, 10, $15, like my mom does actually. And then we get her the SIM card for another $10, and then you're set for a whole month. But after that month runs out, what do? You got to recharge it. Something also was not familiar with coming from the US.
Mm-hmm.
So Is that what you're doing, Will, or do you have a paid phone service?
All right. Whew, I'm back. Yes.
Hey, man. Wow. Pick your card.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you actually bought new SIM cards.
That's what I do. Every 45 days, I go back into the Vodafone store, get them to put in a new SIM card for me, and then I'm off to the races. So for myself, it's really strange to use the European phone number. I have trouble remembering it, writing it down. It's got to be super helpful when you're trying to put in like a restaurant reservation or something for them to actually be able to call you. And
Yeah.
I'm still
Sometimes.
figuring that out. But the solution that I come up with is that I have an American phone here as well. So I brought two phones with me to Europe. And the American phone stays on Wi-Fi, so I don't get charged the
The
daily
roaming.
roaming fees. That just
Yeah.
stays at the house. And then when I'm out in the world, especially for using Google Maps or trying to get from one place to the next, that's when you're going to use it the most when you're over here. And that's where my Vodafone really, really comes in a lot of handy.
Nice. Very good, really good illustration about what you use for what. So
Mhm.
I've been here a little bit longer. So I was at a point where I was like transitioning between different options. And finally, I found that with the Vodafone prepaid SIM card, because I actually needed to have a Spanish number for my bank account and for my, I don't know, my insurance or something. I needed to have the same Spanish number, which in your case would keep changing if you change SIM cards, your number, right?
Yeah, I believe it does.
So that can be problematic if you need to keep the same number. And for me, it was a problem. And then finally, I found out that it's easy enough to recharge the SIM card once you run out of data, but you got to find a Wi-Fi and then recharge it. But I would say 95% of the time, it works pretty seamlessly where you just, when it says your data will run out on this date, well, on that date, then you have the Wi-Fi and you load up the $10. It's like $10 to recharge it. And then I've got service and everything I need for the rest of the next month. Now, it's important if you're over here and you still have things in America, like an American bank, your US bank account, your US, what, maybe you have a US business or you need that US phone number. It's easy enough. I got the Google Voice number for free. And then I have the app on my phone. So I just like use that app and it's still a US number. Like I can call my grandma. Like my grandma doesn't have internet, right? She just has a phone.
Yeah.
So I can call any business in the US with the US number, have my US bank send me the text or credentials to my US number and so on.
Wow, that is a really cool trick, John, using the Google Voice. I had no idea that you can even set that up. That's something I need to look into more. Yeah, running out of
Yeah.
data or your Wi-Fi becomes unavailable on one of these Vodafones when you're abroad is an absolute nightmare. It's pretty scary. So even when I take a trip or I'm driving somewhere or a flight, I still bring both phones just in case something goes wrong. I can instantly still get onto the US roaming charges, bite the bullet, pay the $12 a day so that I can get back to that Vodafone store as quickly as possible and get the Euro phone up and running again.
Yeah. You, uh, like it happens to me sometimes, at least a few times, where I would run out of data and I would be in another place, not even know where I was, and I have to go into the next coffee shop or cafe and be like, "Do you have Wi-Fi?" And be like that kind of annoying American,
It is
you
not the
know,
same
I
asking for
got they,
Wi-Fi over here. The waiters,
yeah,
they don't want to talk to you. They don't want
no
anything to do
Wi-Fi.
with you.
They even have signs that say no Wi-Fi, like enjoy your life, no Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But you can use the Wi-Fi to re-up your data and everything.
Yeah, in the United States, I think any cafe is more than happy to connect you to the Wi-Fi. Over here, it's sort of like asking somebody for panhandling on the street. It's it feels it doesn't flow as smoothly asking to connect to the Wi-Fi. Just be ready for it.
Right on. So, any other details surrounding cell phone coverage? Just what we talked about today. Don't let yourself get ripped off by your American phone company. It's a scam. Get to Europe, get the 1-day roaming package, and then find yourself a SIM card to put into your phone, and you'll have connection the entire month. And anything else? Well,
No, man, I think that's a good first introduction to these things.
yeah, that's it for today's episode. Get a local SIM, save your wallet, stay connected. If you want more real stories, tips, and tools for life in Europe, join our Hello Europe community on School. It's totally free.
So just hit the link in the description and join the community. We'll see you inside.
Until next time, stay smart, curious, enjoy your Wi-Fi while it lasts. Adios.